A week ago, I went to the theater and I saw a movie that I had been interested in seeing for the past 2 or so years. This movie was Benny Safdie's The Smashing Machine. This movie is an interesting take on the rise to fame, true story, sports movie. Mind you, I haven't seen every single true story movie or every single sports movie or every single wrestling true story movie. What I will say though is that this one is the most interesting one in my opinion, and the one that I probably like the most. This movie, in the way that it's filmed, is almost like a documentary or reality TV show. So when there is vulnerability, the camera is placed and moved in a way as if it were a reality TV camera crew or a documentary camera crew. It almost feels like it shouldn't be recorded. The arguments that Mark and Dawn have mimic that of a toxic relationship between two people. The way that it's shot makes it feel very realistic and as if you were watching a documentary on Kerr's relationship with his girlfriend. What makes this movie really interesting to me is who edited the movie. Benny Safdie shot and edited the whole movie along with writing it as well, which is really interesting because it's not often that you see the director of a movie edit the movie as well, and you can tell that he knew what he wanted when he was editing this film because he wanted it to give off this documentary type feel, and it definitely gives off this feeling of reality, like you're watching something real and not something staged. Even the sound effect choices, the music choices feel like I'm watching real recordings and not staged scenes, which adds to that more lived-in feeling. The fights in this movie are also filmed as if it was shot by like a TV company or a news broadcasting service had shot them, with the wides zooming in on the actors, on the wrestlers. It feels like, oh, well, you've got the news crew coming into the back room and doing an interview with Mark Kerr after his fight, or getting little B-roll shots of them practicing, but it's more zooming in and not moving in, which I love. I love the way this movie's shot. It looks beautiful, and it's shot on film, which is great. I love movies that are shot on film because it just has this level of imperfection that you can never replicate, and it just makes things feel and look more beautiful in my opinion. And it worked really well for Smashing Machine. Another thing I loved about this movie is the soundtrack. The soundtrack of this movie is very short, which is really interesting that I found that out after seeing the movie, and I took the time to just listen to the soundtrack all the way through, and it's a beautiful experience. But it's like 6 songs. It is extremely short, but they play a lot of the same songs in well-placed moments. And it works for this movie because the music in this movie is not used often. It's usually used over B-roll shots of a fight or something happening, but never often during dialogue scenes or scenes when characters are doing something important. So that also adds to that lived-in feeling like it was a documentary because there's no music playing in the background. It's just what the characters are experiencing in that moment, and you are left to watch it. It feels almost like an uncomfortable watch because the movie itself goes to a lot of vulnerable places with its characters and a lot of emotional places with its story. And it's not a hero's journey where we see the rise of our, true story hero and see them at their highest high, and then we go down to their lowest low, and then that's when the movie slows down. And then it goes from that lowest low back to their uprise moment where they go from their lowest low back to where they are now. But it doesn't really do that in this movie. It's not about his highest high and his lowest low. Like, we start high. We start at his highest high already. We don't do any rise. We start with him already being at the top of his career, and then we go down to his lowest low, and the movie just stays there. It stays there throughout the entire movie, and it doesn't focus on the fact that his career is at its lowest low. It focuses on his relationship and how that plays into his career and how that plays into his life and how it affects him and how it affects her. The main thing, however, that I loved about this movie was the acting. It's Emily Blunt, of course. She did amazing, as per usual. You can't not expect that from her. She's got an extensive acting career of, tons of amazing roles. But then you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Now, for the past probably 10 or so years, he has been typecasting himself in the same role with his no-win clause and playing the same type of character, basically trying to pull Ryan Reynolds and trying to be himself in every movie, which was cool maybe twice, and then it just got repetitive, and now he became a mainstream actor that didn't really do anything serious. But then I saw this movie, and I'm glad to say that I think we can drop The Rock, guys. I think he's now formally joined the cast of wrestler turned actors, because this is an extremely vulnerable performance from Dwayne, and it is not at all anything like any other role he's ever done in the past 10 years, I'm sure. He's not even like you forget that it's Dwayne while you're watching this movie. You really forget that it's Dwayne. And then he shaves his hair and you realize that it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. But it's just like, I think it's just Dwayne Johnson. I think Dwayne Johnson, the actor, honestly knocked this out of the park. It didn't make $100 million on its first box office weekend or its second box office weekend, but it did, however, make an impact, I think, on Dwayne Johnson's career. And I think that this will allow him to step into more vulnerable roles where he plays characters and explores emotions and feelings in ways that we've never seen from him before. I really enjoyed this movie. I give it a 10 out of 10. Like, I didn't have anything that I didn't like about the movie. I didn't have anything that turned me off from wanting to watch it or wanting to see it. I went and I saw it on a Friday night, and I am glad that I saw it. I would honestly go see it again if I had the chance. Anyway, this has been a stellar movie, and I will see y'all another time.